Hello, everybody. So, this live is, I just wanted to go over some things. Synchronicity has, as per usual, led me down, a rabbit hole. And, I just wanted to process my thoughts, give people food for thought so you can process these things in your own time and draw your own conclusions. How I feel might not be how you feel. What I see might not be what you see. I'm just throwing it out there. And like I said, just food for thought. Like I said, synchronicity lined up and showed me some things, and I just wanted to put it out there. I've been adding up and making connections. I'm a movie fanatic. I'm a cinema fanatic. I like symbols. I like art, anything that provokes thought. And I was watching this movie, The Forgotten, um, which is really good. And let me look up this actress's name because she is a dope actress and I cannot think of her name off the top of my head. Is it Julianne Moore? What is this lady's name? Somebody help me out. What is her name? Yeah, Julianne Moore. I had it right. So Julianne Moore, and she is a dope actress, by the way. There really isn't a movie that she's been in that I didn't enjoy. I think she is one of the best to do it, and she definitely, for me, does not get um, all the credit that she deserves. She's a really phenomenal actress. So I watched this movie a long time ago. It came out in 2004. So it's not recent. The movie's been out for a while. And in this movie, um, she had a son and she put him on a plane to travel for some kind of like trip. And the plane went missing, and she was told that her son died in the plane crash, and that her son died in the crash. And little bit by little bit, she was her memories of him had been stripped from her. And as a mother, she knows that she had the experience. She knows that she had a son, and she has you know people around her, like, not remembering the having the same memories, and her therapist telling her you had a miscarriage, you didn't actually have a child, just playing with her mind. And she never lets go of the fact she's very sure of herself. She's very confident in who she is and and her experiences. And she doesn't let anybody tell her that her memories aren't hers. So she goes down the rabbit hole with another man whose daughter supposedly died in the crash, and they travel down this rabbit hole of conspiracies and lies. And they found out that um, there are these beings who um, were doing these experiments, trying to um, dissolve the connection that parents have with their children. And it worked on a lot of parents, but it didn't work on her. And it was very interesting. Like I said, watch the movie so you can get a little bit more perspective of what I'm trying to talk about. So, like I said, it was interesting because, in this movie, whoever these beings are, they have technology that's way more sophisticated than anything that we could wrap our minds around. And they are capable of like erasing memory. Um, and not only that, but they would literally like snatch people um away. At one point, Alfre Woodard, who is another great actress, is a detective, and she's skeptical about, what these NSA people are telling her. And she sees Julianne Moore's character, and she's like trying to walk up to her to tell her, like, no, I believe you, I believe you. And as she's walking up to her, she just gets like snatched away into the sky. And seeing that like really made me think of biblical prophecy. It was that this movie too and a few others made me really think of like biblical prophecy and in end time prophecy about how certain things are going to go in the end time. And I grew up with, preachers and pastors, preaching about the rapture and how in the last days, um, Jesus is going to come back in the sky, and he's going to come back for um, his believers. And they supposedly are going to get caught up in the air um, with Jesus. And the Bible talks about you might be in the field with somebody, and then they're gone. It basically referring to people disappearing. And there have been all kinds of movies um, detailing, trying to um, explain how these biblical prophecies are going to happen. And like I said, I had just been, thinking about these things. And um, also, I was just thinking about, everything that I had been saying about like science and how people should keep their eye on science and um, where science is coming from and where science is going. And just for Christians to be aware that, you know, people have a vested interest in their biblical beliefs being accurate, and they'll make them accurate. There are certain people that believe, um, you don't wait for the future, you create it. If you want something, to be true, you make it true. So there are a lot of people that have this mentality, and I need for Christians to understand that um, sometimes these biblical prophecies may happen um, in a way that some of you may not, even though the Bible is talking about it. Sometimes when things actually happen, which is annoying to me, people seem to be caught off guard. So I was also thinking about, like, so I was listening to music. I'm also a music lover, and I was listening to Anita Baker's Rapture, and I was really happy that um, she is now back. She now has her master's, and which I'm happy for her. Um, but I was listening to her song Rapture, and there are other songs called Rapture, but for me, Anita Baker's Rapture, again, Anita Baker is just, for me, an excellent singer. She's an excellent vocalist, and her catalog is amazing. Like, her work over the years is amazing. We all love Anita Baker. But whenever I listen to that song Rapture, like the vibration of that song is so high. Like, it will put you in a better mood if you're not in a good mood. Like, it shifts the energy in the atmosphere whenever that song gets played, because the vibration of that song is so high. And for me, like, internally, that song transports me to a completely different dimension. Like, it puts me in a heavenly realm. Like, I'm saying, the vibration of that song is so high. And it really had me thinking of, like, what do we really understand about sound, and and what we hear, and how that correlates to biblical prophecy and how certain things may play out, because the Bible also talks about like the sounds of trumpets, and like these great sounds also happening around end time or Christ returning. And I was like really wondering, like, what role sound will play in um you know these biblical prophecies, because they definitely will. Like, please understand that, like, sounds, vibrations, and frequencies are definitely playing a role in a lot of the shifting that's happening. And it really made me wonder, like, could we be listening to Anita Baker one day and be transformed, not just internally, but physically transported to a different place just by hearing her voice, which is possible. Like I said, that what I really need for people to do is like really keep your eye on science, because science will create a physical manifestation of things that people have practiced and adhered to spiritually for a long time. Like technology, for example, is a physical manifestation of people's mental and spiritual abilities. There are people that can hold conversations with each other in their mind, like the movie The Shining, like that's what it was called. It's called being able to shine. So when Danny Torrance and um I forget the black Scatman Crothers, his character in The Shining, like they were able to talk mentally. And cell phones and telephones are a physical manifestation of being able to communicate, which is something that people were used to be able to, and some people can still do it. Some people can still communicate telepathically. They don't need to speak. They can do it mentally. Um, Organizing information. The brain does that, and technology is like I said, a physical manifestation or physical representation of um, things that we can do and think mentally and spiritually. So that same concept, I think science is using that same concept of creating things, creating physical manifestations um, to explain biblical prophecy, or to manifest biblical prophecy. And like I said, Christians, up until very recently, have been encouraged to doubt science, to stay away from science, because you're not supposed to question God. You're just supposed to have blind faith. Science doesn't understand, and if you really have faith, um, just relying on your spiritual attributes and not the physical, which I feel like they both should go hand in hand. And I think that's been a hindrance to the Christian community too, because at one point, science and religion were hand in hand. At one point, science and religion and spirituality went hand in hand. And I feel like that is going to come full circle. I feel like the bridge, that gap is going to be filled again, which is biblical prophecy in and of itself. But I don't feel like getting into that and explaining that. But um, also the spiritual community, because I really think so too many spiritual people, especially a lot of these people trying to be spiritual influencers, and a lot of these spiritual businesses are really going to get wiped out if they don't understand what some of these advances in science are all about. I really feel like a lot of you really need to be meditating and researching and reading up on what science really has cooking, because a lot of y'all are teaching information and um, that may be obsolete once science gets through with, you know, certain things. Which is why, like I said, I just like to point out information instead of um, encouraging people on a particular path. There are many paths when it comes to spirituality. There are many paths, so it's important again to, and with all of, like I said, these advances, and especially when it comes to the advances and like I said, these movies dealing with being able to alter memory, which is a very significant advancement. This is, I don't, this is very significant, and I don't think enough people appreciate how significant it is. Because to tamper with memory is to tamper with the very fabric of reality. And there are consequences to that. And I just wrote an article about um, about that, about the rapture, and being able to um, travel dimensions, and time travel. Like I said, in science is where, and, just because you think something is impossible, doesn't mean that it is. That's another thing that I need for people to really, because I think that's another reason why a lot of Christians dismiss a lot of things. Like if somebody like me wants to bring up something that I read that's scientific, it's always a dismissal, because to a lot of people, like, oh, that's impossible, or nobody could possibly do that. And it's like, well, it is possible, and there are people that have figured out how to do it. And I just feel like if more Christians were more scientific minded, instead of happy to have blind faith because they believe that blind faith is going to get them into some heavenly realm at some point. It you just want to make sure, because again, what if this heavenly realm is being built by people with scientific minds, and not what you think, and not some god, some sky daddy god, in the sky, you know doing it. Like, really look into the possibilities. But like I said, I'm doing this to kind of like piggyback off of what I wrote. Again, there's a lot of advances, scientific and technological advances, that really have the capability of affecting us in ways that would really blow a lot of our minds. We really need to start, really looking into and talking about, these changes and these advances. What is this going to mean for us? And especially for, you have it, for a lot of people that think, well, this doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't. It might not, but still consider it anyway. Like, you might not, think that there's a rational reason to alter somebody's memories or alter reality. But for a lot of people, there are a lot of people that do want to take people's memories away from them. You have a lot of corporations out here that have a long history of doing fucked up shit. You have a long history of companies out here that have been dumping poison in the water, dumping poison in the earth, dumping waste out in outer space, like throwing it in the atmosphere to get rid of it. Um, you have a lot of corporations that accumulated all their wealth through slave labor, slave child labor. You have a lot of these corporations that have a hand in child abuse, sex trafficking, child trafficking, the exploitation of people, human trafficking. You have a lot of these corporations that really got their wealth through really cruel, underhanded ways, and they don't want to lose their wealth. And they would rather, instead of just being human and having a fucking conscience, and just realizing, oh shit, like, we fucked up the environment, we fucked up people. Let's take this wealth, because it's really at a point now where these people can't really do anything else with their wealth. Like I said, they've been spending money, or like I said, instead of just giving back to the people that they've stolen from, they'd rather take this money and give it to scientists to help scientists figure out a way for them to still stay off the hook. So instead of paying people, let me just take the memory of what I did to you. And instead of stopping human trafficking, let me just erase your memory of it. And like I said, there are a lot more movies out here about that, not just The Forgotten. That's just one of them. There are many movies out here about this, about the taking of people's memories, and being able to upload a human consciousness into technology. So, and as a black person, again, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. A lot of us are, owed a debt. A lot of us have justice coming to us. A lot of us, and Like I said, these companies don't want to pay. They would rather just erase our memories. And that's a dangerous thing. And one of the things, like I said, in the movie, this alien or this being or wherever it was, was experimenting on dissolving the connection between, a mother and a child, or a parent and a child, again, to be able to have that kind of power. And again, what does that mean for us? How will this, impact us as Black people? And we've had our children stolen from us, and we've been forced to work for free for hundreds and hundreds of years. And, we've been exploited, and our children have been exploited, and we've been abused, and our children have been abused. So even to take away the memory of it does not dissolve the connection. It doesn't dissolve the trauma. Erasing something isn't a fix, or else there will be other physical manifestations to rise up in the place of what was erased. So this is another reason why, like I said, I'm putting this information out here, because, like I said, these things are changing. Like, people may start to have experiences that they can't explain, or seeing things or having strange things happen to them, that certain synchronicities, or synchronicities becoming stronger and more frequent, and more often, and we see this all the time, which is another reason why the spiritual community is exploding. And instead of people like just being like genuinely curious, everybody's just trying to fucking monetize, monopolize, and capitalize off this bullshit, and that's not what spirituality is for. But people really need to, the spiritual community really needs to be alert. Like, the spiritual community is fucking lacking. Like, again, I look at, I try to follow other people, and look and see what people, the content, and things that people are posting, and people are really getting it wrong. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people selling shit, but nobody's really, you know, looking at, how things are changing for us spiritually. Because that ties in, it's the spiritual connections that they're trying to dissolve. And this is why the spirits are dealing with people in a different way. Because a lot of people, like I said, get initiated in this shit and start dick riding shit and jumping on shit and following these trends, when you don't really understand what's going on. These spirits are tired of being used, just like we are. Just like we are. And they know that people are trying to erase them, and they're not having it. And they're going to start dealing, especially, like I said, a lot of y'all people, that's why I try to talk to people. So other people I know ain't going to get it. This is why I focus on young people. Because a lot of people over a certain age are just fucking silly, and they're not going to get it. But a lot of y'all have been taught a lot of harmful information by a lot of sick people who are just dead inside. And a lot of these practices didn't make it across the sea. They didn't make it from Africa to here in one piece. They didn't make it from places like Brazil and the Caribbean. They didn't make it in one. It didn't make it in one piece. So you had a lot of sick people that looking to capitalize, looking to dominate, looking to control, switching shit up, switching up the energies, or putting a lie on certain mythology and certain archetypes, having you believing that one God behaves this way, or that it's this kind of energy, or you do this and it's this, and it's like people are people are just really playing around too much with this spiritual shit. Playing around too much. And like I said, it's because a lot of y'all are dead inside. This is why you learn, as soon as you learn about something, as soon as you learn their spiritual power in some of these African traditions, that's the only reason why some of y'all are even a part of it. It's somebody that you want to be in a relationship with. It's somebody that you're jealous of and you want to get back at them. It's some of y'all just be using this powerful energy in trivial ways. when our reality is at stake. Y'all always fucking around. Yeah, like there's nothing in your heart making you concerned. Don't none of y'all feel nothing. No, the only thing y'all know how to do is still steal somebody's man. That's the only thing y'all know how to do. And manifest fucking trips and shit. And not I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but nothing else is on your mind. Nothing else is concerning you. Y'all can't think to use this shit no other way. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And this is why, like that, it's annoying because for a long time, this is why sometimes some people may be shocked, and especially when I started, um, doing readings online or whatever, because not everybody that being a reader and being an urban mystic, like a lot of that was for a long time. It's like I kept it on the low because people act weird around me. It's when I have something that I do that I'm fully aware that I'm capable of, and it's a gift that I have. You know, because when other people do stuff, like when I'm talking to people and like people tell me about their interests, things that they're passionate about, I genuinely I let people speak. Somebody tells me, my passion is um, um, designing cars, and I do this and I'm fascinated and I ask questions. So where do you get the inspiration for this? And, because I don't know. I don't know. And I love to hear people, explain the things that they're passionate about and explain the things that they're learning and explain what they know. And I ask clarifying questions, and I'm glad that you're passionate about it. But when it's me and I start talking about something, nobody is listening. Everybody all of a sudden is more of an expert than I am. Everybody knows more than I know. And now they want to tell me, oh, well, did you know about this? Oh, did you read? And I say I collect books. Oh, well, do you know about this book? Like I can't say anything without certain people trying to challenge me and act like they know more about the shit than I know. And when I met their asses, they was fucking Christian. They didn't know shit. They just going to church. They didn't even know anything about Christianity. It's just how they was raised. They never questioned nothing a day in their life. And all of a sudden they meet me, and all of a sudden they deep and spiritual and got all the answers and read all the fucking books. Okay. Okay. Again, which is another reason why I decided to take the social media so I can just speak and find other people that just want to listen and have their own thoughts and want to connect the dots and have conversations around these things, and not people that want to compete. Like a lot of you are just fucking weird, just real fucking weirdos. Everything's a fucking competition. Like I said, it's real out here. Compete over that. Compete over protecting these fucking kids. Compete over protecting this fucking reality. Compete over protecting each other. Who can do that the fucking best? Since y'all know every goddamn thing and I don't. Who can do that? Who's the best at that? Who's the best at protecting children? Because y'all swear y'all the best at fucking people up and throwing curses and hexes on people. Or y'all swear y'all the best at manifesting money and all this other. Just some of y'all, like I said, are just childish and your mind is always in the wrong fucking place. And I ain't gonna never talk to you nice. If you're a clown, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking clown. I'm never gonna have patience for you. I'm never gonna talk nice to you because it's too fucking real out here for me to say something and all of a sudden y'all want to act like y'all the fucking authority and then y'all know more about the shit than I do. I never claim to be an expert. I never claim to have all the answers. I just have concerns and questions. Don't go trying to compete with me. Oh, you collect books, I got more. Good for you, bitch. Good. Okay. Why is everything a fucking competition? Good. I hope you do have more books than me. Good. I hope you are more spiritual than me. Good for you. I still think you're a fucking clown and I'm still not going to be nice. Why is everything an opportunity to show your fucking ass? Why, like, that's so annoying. Like I said, I bring up these things because I am concerned, not because I'm trying to outdo anybody or outshine any fucking body. Anyway, for the Christians, like I said, a lot of y'all really need to question more things. Question, start looking into science. Start holding some of your spiritual leaders more accountable. Start bringing your religious leadership to task. Because, like I said, there are a lot of people out here with a vested interest in erasing a lot of the wrong that they've done. And we need to be concerned about how that'll play out for us. If you are a woman, you need to be concerned. If you are a parent, you need to be concerned. If you are a person of color, if you are Black, you need to be concerned. And don't think because you're a person of color and you work 5 jobs and you hardworking that somehow you better and ain't shit gonna happen to you. A lot of y'all fucking stupid. And you're easily exploited because you're childish. Ask questions. Everything is not about money. Sometimes things are about life and how you're going to not just survive, but thrive. And not spend a whole lifetime working hard and grinding. Focus more about spending time with children. So you don't have to spend so much time away from them. And they're in school and then they got to come home and be with babysitters or be by themselves and be latchkey kids and all this other kind of dumb shit because y'all feel like working is more important. The fuck out of here. Let technology take over. So that we can get back to the business of healing our minds, protecting our children, building our relationships, restoring our communities, leaving legacy behind. That's what's more important. And I've been saying this shit for years. Now, oh, you want us to be poor? You're a fucking idiot if you hear me say that and that's your only response. Because I was talking to somebody in church. I was talking to somebody that claims that, they're supposed to be a so-called pastor. And all these niggas know how to do is try to hustle people for money. And this whole fucking wealth, this prosperity, spiritual prosperity movement that was happening for so fucking long. And I'm trying to get these niggas to see different, to see how we need to be focused on other things. And these niggas is just so cutthroat and so empty inside and so dead inside that he couldn't possibly receive what I was saying. And instead was just thinking that I'm ignorant and was offended because I was cursing his ass the fuck out for having such a trash position. What about your community? And these fucking pastors to be the first one to be the problem with you niggas is there is no fucking problem. We all got problems. Your self-hate is the fucking problem. You weaponizing your religion is the fucking problem. And then when shit happens, people want to be fucking shocked and appalled. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of the fake outrage. So tired of it. But if you believe that these are the end times, how do you really think that this shit is going to play out? How? Especially for you Christians, y'all still want to stay rocking with that religion. How do you think this is going to play out? Do you really think that you ain't gonna go nowhere? How do you know for sure that being caught up with Jesus is the right thing? And how do you know you actually gonna make it? Did you watch the Left Behind series? So you think you know? Bitch, I can't. Like I said, this shit is way more sophisticated than you can ever fucking imagine. Some of y'all might think y'all gonna make it, but it might not be what you think. This is why you need to question things. Like I said, there are people out here trying to erase the past, trying to alter the past, trying to alter our memories, alter our minds, simply because they just don't want to pay up. They're willing to compromise everything because they could be destroyed in the process of destroying memories themselves. Like I said, this is why there's a spiritual warfare going on that a lot of y'all have nothing, know nothing about. Like I said, y'all too worried about money, clothes, cars, likes, follows. Okay. Okay. Like the fate of humanity really hangs in the balance. And I don't think people appreciate that enough. I don't think people are really thinking that way. But open your minds up, like open your eyes up. Stop thinking that there is like that you have the answer, you know? Like I said, there's always been people with a problem with you niggas is y'all need to speak better English. You need to go to school. You need to get money. And then niggas do all of that and still fucked up. Because there isn't one answer. There isn't one way. Believe what you want to, but don't think that that's the only way or that you're somehow different and special and exempt from things because you have certain beliefs. Question things. Like I said, if I'm saying something that you know that you don't agree with, ask clarifying questions. Because like I said, I'm not here to get anybody to believe anything. I just want people to think. If you think that we're in the end times and that these are the last days, how do you think these biblical prophecies will play out? And don't just think, well, I'm a Christian, I'm on the right side, everything is all good. How do you know you on the right side? How do you know that? You got to know deep down inside of you, even if you stop going to church. I don't know, man. Like I said, shit is changing, shit is real, and these advances are going to get rolled out more and more. And this is why things are changing. Like I said, people have been trying to alter time, alter space and time. Like I said, and the very people trying to do it may very well just end up erasing themselves. Since you want to get rid of everybody so bad, it'd be great if the fates decide, you know what, let's just get rid of these people all the time. They keep trying to get rid of everything else. Let's get rid of them. That would make the most sense. But even then, that would still, you know, that would still be a loss. I said it would be in favor of certain people, but there would still be very profound changes. Like I said, start asking questions. Stop thinking that, you know, you got it all figured out because you're of a certain religious belief or a certain religious background. It's deeper than religion. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than you think you're going to go to heaven and you ain't going to go to hell. It's deeper than that. We're talking about our very existence and the way we're too easy to let it be tampered with. in the ways that we don't think it's valuable, the ways we take it for granted. This, like I said, this, stuff that people need to look into. Y'all can say I'm crazy all you want to. I'm used to it. That don't bother me. Just because I may be saying some out there stuff. Just because it's out there doesn't mean it's wrong, or it doesn't mean it's not happening. Like I said, ask questions. Start thinking about these things. Look into them. Like I said, our reality is changing every day, and we need to be in front of it. We need to understand where we're going to stand when the dust settles. We need to be clear that we don't want people altering our children's minds. We don't want people altering our minds. So watch that movie, The Forgotten, and really, start wrapping your mind around what you really think the rapture is going to be. And it's like I said, it's going to be different things for different people, because we have, a lot of us have different backgrounds, different cultures, different histories. It's important, like I said, it's important to look into this stuff so you can ground yourself when it happens. That's the most important thing you can do right now, is ground yourself into what's real. Stay grounded in what's real. And you got to know what that is. But I didn't want this one to be super long, because like I said, this I just wanted to just a little speak on a little bit of what I wrote on my website, themosthightarot.com. And yeah, again, I just want to encourage thought. I want to encourage people to start looking into things. Um, look into more science, and all these people with, oh, you can't research for yourself. Like, it's called, just didn't read then. God damn. It's like, people can't say anything. People just need to argue. So you say, now I research for myself. No, you didn't. Research is this, research is that. In what fucking context? If you're in college, then research does have a different context. If you're the average lay person, then reading a book is your fucking research. Google Scholar is your fucking research. Stop taking what people know away from them. If somebody feels a certain way, so fucking be it. Worry about what you know and what you feel. It's okay for people to have a difference of opinion. Y'all ruin everything. Y'all ruin life with this bullshit. Always wanting to argue, always wanting to fucking disagree. No, not like this, like that. Especially you academic people. A lot of y'all, and I don't feel bad for none of y'all, because a lot of y'all fucking higher ed, academia ass, arrogant ass, elitist ass people are getting shut down by fucking science and technology. They don't need y'all bullshit anymore. They have robots and synthetic humans that can teach and do all this shit now. They have science to where if people want to learn languages, you can just have that shit downloaded to your fucking brain. Why you instead of paying these universities all these crazy fucking money? And that's what the fuck y'all get. I worked in universities for years, trying to tell people, hey, look, and just as a psychic, trying to just work a regular 9 to 5 job, like, hey, look, y'all need to look into this. Y'all are putting money and energy into doing certain things. Like, technology is about to shut all this shit fucking down. No, I don't know. How do you know that? It's my cousin. I'm gonna call him back. But just because people thinking, well, no, things are impossible, and I don't feel away because, like I said, I tried to tell people, and everybody always want to fucking ignore me, dismiss me, clown me, laugh at me, and now look, they finally rolling out robots, start teaching kids. And to me, like I said, I'm not against all this science and technology. I actually think a lot of it is helpful and useful. Like I said, it's the intent that people have. This is great so that people, like I said, can get back to living life, can get back to family, can get back to traveling, can get back to learning who we are as a people and as individuals. Let technology take it over. Like I said, a lot of y'all are stuck in slave mode, thinking that everything is about working hard. It's not. The work has been done. As horrible as the past decades, as far as the last time, this time that we have been in, as horrible and as brutal as it has been, it's done. And that we are owed a debt. It is our children that they have been taking and experimenting on. It is us that they have been exploiting and using. And they owe us. Sit back and collect your fucking debt. Stop thinking you still gotta work fucking hard and shaming people and manipulating people. But it's like I said, I want to throw that out there. Watch those movies and, like I said, piece together how you think these things are going to play out. Like I said, start having these conversations because we need to. We need to. We need to figure out, like, what how are these things going to affect our reality? How are they going to affect us? Like I said, we really need to be spending this time more collaborating and talking and discussing. But I'm writing some more things. Like I said, I'm just connecting the dots, and then I write about it and put it out there for people to, like I said, wrap your minds around things and come up with your own ideas and come up with things, that might even, like I said, I like provoking people to think, but somebody might come up with a solution. And if somebody comes up with a solution after hearing something that I said, then that's why I do what I do. But yes, for some people, it's going to be the rapture, and it's going to be a wonderful experience. And for other people, they'll be the forgotten. Which one will you be? All right, until next time.